Hello, welcome to another episode of Eat This, Drink That. We've got Ali on the food, we've got Steve on the drinks. My name is Ryan, and let's get on with this episode. Steve, what is your drink that for today?
What's up, gents? So we're going to start a trio of French-themed cocktails. Today we're going to do the French 75.
All right.
This is it's kind of a baller cocktail. This isn't something you make every
Okay.
single day. You're not just whipping up an old fashioned for a finish the evening cocktail. French 75 is you're going out. I want to make something elegant and really cool, and I want to share it with my friends. So that being said, the spirits are a little more expensive, and it's French, so there's no gin in this. I know a lot of people make
Is there
French 75s
champagne
with
involved?
champagne and cognac. So today we're going to use, I have Hennessy VSOP, and I'm using a Blanc de Blanc champagne, and this is from a small producer called Ruinart. We won't even talk about the prices.
Already out the gate, that champagne.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the prices. If you want to replicate this and go a little lower, you can use a brandy from a different place other than cognac, and you can use like a California sparkling wine.
Okay.
But if you're going to go through the trouble of making this cocktail, why not make it extra special? So that's what we're going to do today. So we'll get to why I'm choosing
So
a
no,
Blanc de
like what,
Blanc.
E&J and Cooks?
Yes.
Cooks and
That would
and
be a
E&J?
very gross cocktail.
Full
Because
disclosure, Crosby is the first person who introduced me to strawberry wine. I remember he goes, well, like literally, it's college days. You know what I mean? Like I'm like
Strawberry
thinking
Hill.
a good night splurge was like Sam Adams. Ooh, I
Right.
got Sam Adams. I'm splurging, and he
Yeah.
was like, I'm not doing. I mean, he was ahead of his time. He's like, I'm not doing beer, guys. I'm gluten free. I'm
strawberry
doing booze,
wine.
and I was like,
Boons.
hell is this? Pink as all hell. So
Yes.
of course he knows about
my
that
God.
cheap champagne. You know it all. You're the opposite of Greer.
I was non-binary in '96.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
ahead of the game.
you know the reason why
Ahead
I
of
say
the
that's
game.
going to be gross. That the only reason I say it'll be gross is I'm not
Yes.
saying those are terrible beverages. They have a lot of sugar. E&J brandy has a lot of sugar in it. Cooks, whatever it's
Yeah.
called, sparkling wine has a lot of sugar in
All
it.
sugar.
Why drink? We talk about this all the time. Drink less, drink better. Why drink crap? So I'm not saying you need to go all the way to this level, but stay away from all that extra sugar. But let's get to this.
But I feel
So
like
this-
that's the pro tip. Let's give people the pro tip. Why do you not buy the cheap stuff? Because you're gonna jack yourself up with a ton of sugar. That leads to hangovers, hangover and hurling. Too much sugar.
Yeah.
Thanks,
The
Steve.
two
I
H's.
will
That's
throw up
the
tonight.
French 74.
Yes.
All right.
The
Anyways.
dreaded two H's.
Nice. There you go. Crosby's doing
Yeah.
a 74.
All right.
The
Well, yeah, let's get on with
Do it
it.
up. Do it up. We're spending money. It's fine.
Yeah. Although that's
Yeah.
the California 74, what Crosby's going to start drinking.
There you go.
So this was actually a World War I cocktail. I think it was 1914 or 1915. This cocktail was created at Harry's Bar in Paris. It's named after this French-built cannon called the Canon de 75. I don't know the French word for 75, so I'm not going to even try it. So it was named after it was named after a war machine. I think the cannon was built in like the 1890s. There might be a little symbolism there, like because you're using champagne and cognac, it packs a bigger punch or a cannonball. So
Basically, it's French for you're gonna get hammered.
yes. So this is really simple cocktail too. So we're back to our idea of 3 ingredients. Have them in your back pocket so you can whip them up for your friends whenever, like a martini or a Manhattan old fashioned. This falls in that category, even though it's a little more elegant and you're using even higher quality ingredients. It's an ounce of cognac, half ounce of lemon juice, half ounce of simple syrup. You shake it, you pour it into your glass, and I'll show you what I'm using today. And then you float the champagne on top. So let's get to it. We're going to fill. So I have a shaker. So here's another pro tip of sorts. When you're adding juice, that's when you're almost always shaker. Yeah. Yes. I also brought some other equipment to show in other episodes. You don't have to spend a lot of money on this stuff. I bet this came from like, I don't know, Crate and Barrel for $5. I think this is the Parisian shaker. I just had it so I can shake with one hand today.
So is it different from a different other kind of shaker that's like shaped like regular or whatever?
Yes. So the shaking tin, which is that 2-piece that comes apart that we've used for different episodes, that's just 2. You can use them for stirring. You can use them for shaking, but you're putting 2 tins together and shaking. So there's a seal that's created. This seal is really easy because these 2 pieces just fit really snug. So for most people, I think this is the easier shaker. But my point about citrus, whenever you're adding citrus to a cocktail, you're almost always going to shake because you're adding froth and texture. So we're going to use a nice cube for shaking. We're not using terrible ice. We're going to use a nice piece of ice for shaking, mainly because you don't want to over dilute.
You just insulted my refrigerator, by the way. you and that pedestrian built-in ice maker. My terrible ice maker.
We went out last night to one really nice restaurant, actually, the Water Grill from LA that just opened up around the corner from me in Denver.
Okay.
And there was one guy, a bar back. All he was doing was ice. He was bringing out these giant, so they were probably this same size as these, but they were about this big around because he had to put his arms around them. Let's say there were 30 pieces of ice in there. Takes 13 hours to make that ice. He was bringing it out and shaving it and chipping it and getting rid of some of the, white stuff to make it a perfect cube of ice. And that's all he did all night long.
I think you're embellishing this just because what you're trying to do is sell the time it takes for water molecules to stop moving. I mean, I am calling you out. You're over. Your career is done. It takes 13 hours. Yeah. Hey, did you know?
That's what he said last night.
You have to freeze things overnight. Get out of here. I am
That's what
done
he said.
with this.
He said,
it's
it's
over.
13 hours.
And then we went to time for things to freeze.
Yes. Then we went to a mixology bar called Union, and their ice was even more obsessive. It was perfect. Wow. You could see through the cubes of ice. Like it was not there. It was invisible. You knew it was a cube, but you couldn't have any context of anything.
That almost seems unnatural. That seems wrong to me.
Ice is a big deal.
Yeah, now he's going to be like, I'm going to make ice out of milk and give you that. And be like, here you go. Enjoy your...
So we're shaking this with ice in it. Yeah, let's do it.
So I got the ice. Here's the tin. I got the ice ready to go. I'm going to do 1 ounce of cognac.
That's Hennessy XO, right?
Yeah, this is Hennessy VSOP. XO is probably double the price, so that would be exceptionally.
How much does that cost? VSOP.
You'll have to look it up because I'm spacing right now. I didn't write down prices for this stuff only because I really didn't want to promote how much we're spending on these cocktails. It's a lot.
I'm concerned, so you know what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah. So I have
quite a range here on the internet.
Yeah, I have a different measuring cup for this because we're doing half ounces. This is just a little OXO measuring cup. So I'm going to do, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Okay. I saw a bottle for 150 and then I saw one for 40. So I know I'm
I'm seeing one for 40, like 750. Yeah, it's weird. VSOP means very special. Wow. You know what's funny about Hennessy? Greer, you know what's funny about Hennessy?
Yeah.
I always, I don't, I can't, because of rap, because of hip hop, I have a different idea of Hennessy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard
Yeah.
for me. I think about
Separate.
that and I think about the 90s. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think about Biggie. You know what I mean? And I don't know, honestly, if it's like, is it just simply something that's been made popular? You know what I mean? Because Colt 45 was made popular by freaking High C in the
Right.
Yeah.
90s. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, what
It
is
is the
Hennessy
most
from a
recognized.
from
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish what you were
I
thinking.
mean, is it good cognac or is it
Uh,
overrated because it was made popular by Biggie Smalls?
it's exceptionally high quality. It's the most
Okay.
well known cognac. There are smaller producers. Pierre Ferrand, I
Yeah.
really like. There's
Crevassier.
smaller producers that are very, very good cognac. I'd put Hennessy up against
Mm.
every one of those. They are
Good
able,
to know.
because of how
Weird.
much cognac they're aging, they're able to
Yeah.
select the best barrels. So the
Hmm.
best barrels go into VS, the best barrels go into VSOP, the best barrels. When you have that much and you're doing that well, you get to not cut corners like some smaller producers might because they have to pay their mortgage or their for their new equipment. They got to pay for something.
Right.
Hmm.
They're
Um,
just putting it out.
yeah, they get to not cut corners.
That's
So,
So
so basically Steve Greer says, forget the little guy. Forget the little guy.
so
so I
citrus.
forgot
We
my
got an ounce of Hennessy.
yeah, I got an ounce of Hennessy VSOP. I forgot my little bottles. So I got a ton of these little
Okay.
bottles. They're all labeled for different things. This is simple syrup.
Wow.
This is super easy to make. 1-to-1 ratio. Don't use crappy sugar. Use nice sugar.
Okay.
1-to-1,
All right.
and then you
I
just
can't
stir
even
it.
touch it right. Keep making the cocktails, then we'll get into
Yeah.
that later.
Then so that's a half an ounce of simple syrup. Half ounce. Then this is fresh
Okay.
squeezed lemon juice. This was the grapefruit one. I just
Says
repurposed it.
grapefruit.
Yeah. But this is
Okay.
lemon juice, half ounce. So
Okay.
right now we
Lemon
have,
juice.
yeah, a little bit of lemon juice, which is why I use Blanc
Okay.
de Blanc, because Blanc de Blanc flavors have a lemony flavor to the champagne, and it matches really well
Okay.
with the lemon juice. So pour that in, boom. We're gonna prep our beautiful champagne flute. We're making a champagne cocktail. So don't use a rocks glass.
Okay.
That's a
Don't use,
different kind of flute than I would have expected. You know, I got
yeah,
the one that's super skinny.
yeah, and you can use
Ooh,
that.
look at
Okay.
that.
Now here's the key. You have to backtrack the measurements. This is 10 ounces. I'm only going to fill it to about 6.5 to 7 because I don't want to fill it all the way. I
Okay.
mean, part of the experience of a cocktail is the enjoyment of the glass and the experience. I don't want a full cocktail. We're not at a frat bar making Long Island iced teas. I want a
Okay.
beautiful cocktail that'll be about here, 2/3. So this is 6.5 total. After I'm done shaking, this will
Okay.
be about 2.5. And then I'm going to add 4 ounces of
Okay.
champagne. So shake for 30 seconds.
Okay.
You're chilling the liquid, you're adding texture, and you're giving a little bit of dilution from the ice breaking off. I'm not going to shake a full 30 seconds
Okay.
because, we don't need to waste time on our episode. The nice part
Fill
about
me in.
this shaker
Fill me in.
is there's a strainer already there. But whenever I'm using citrus, I get a little obsessive. I hate pulp. I don't want pulp in my cocktail. I don't
Okay.
even want pulp in my orange juice. So I strain it when I'm juicing. I strain it when I'm putting it into this. And then I also strain
Okay.
it when I'm pouring it into the glass.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, this guy's insane. Seriously,
This is
you
insane.
strain it before you go into the squeeze bottle. There's a strainer on the shaker, and then you're using another strainer.
Triple
Yeah.
strain. But then that's probably taking little pieces of ice out of it too, right? So
Yes,
Whoa,
exactly. That's
look at
yeah,
that.
good call. So
yeah.
that's
So
the
that's
cocktail
the
right now.
cognac, the juice, and the ice.
And the simple
Wow.
syrup. Don't forget the simple syrup. And that's it. There's
Right.
a texture to this. You can see the texture from the shaking. Now
Yeah.
we open up our
Yeah.
champagne. Remember, don't shake with champagne. Inside this bottle is the equivalent pressure of 3 car tires. So your car tire is roughly 30 or 32 or whatever. There's 90 psi in that bottle. You don't want to take
Wow.
the CO2, the pressure that's in that, and put it in a shaking tin and start shaking it. You're only asking for trouble.
Gotcha.
When you're opening
Pro tip.
champagne,
Another pro tip.
yeah, don't freak out about opening champagne. Just point the cork away from your eye and from everybody else in the room. That's it. Don't start pointing it like this, going, "I'm opening champagne." You're gonna put your eye out, and don't hurt your guests that are at your house. So
And don't drink it straight from the bottle. It'll start shooting out your nose. I learned that one
yes,
time. So
yeah.
Nice.
All right. Where was that?
it was a birthday party I had
Okay, that's a good birthday
in my
It
party.
20s.
really came out your nose.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great. Right in front of everyone. It was fantastic.
And you also
It
don't
is a
want
look, though.
to.
When you're drinking champagne out of the bottle, it's a real look. Wolf of Wall Street style.
Yeah. Here you go. Let's go, Ruin Art.
All right.
Remember,
Let's see how we
you're
get
not
4 ounces
really
in there.
measuring this ingredient. You're just now filling the cocktail. Whoa.
It's a little foamy
Ooh.
there.
Oh, there's the PSI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
a
the
little foamy
pressure.
there.
All right. Let me always have plenty of towels when
Have a
you're
white
making
cloth.
cocktails. Yeah, I have.
Absolutely.
Your
I
workout
got
towel.
about 8 right here. So there's the cocktail. Now,
Yummy.
garnish, lemon twist for this one, where you're highlighting all these lemony flavors that are going on. You just kind of twist it over, throw it in the cocktail. Boom. I'm going to add just a touch more champagne. Just a touch.
AKA Steve's volcano model from 4th grade.
Yeah. So
You
that's
got it.
the
Looking good. Looking good.
French 75.
Good.
French 75.
Ooh.
Now think about the
That looks
components in here. You have the champagne with the acidity, the lemon. You have the lemon twist. You have the lemon juice, which also brings acidity,
Right.
but it also brings all that flavor. You have the cognac with the more caramel and vanilla and darker, nuttier fruits, nuts and fruits. And then you have the simple syrup that just kind of brings everything together.
Chills it out a little.
Awesome, Steve.
So it's been
I love
very
that
fascinating to
cocktail.
watch you make this because I've ordered French 75, and this is my first problem, I guess, is like whenever I order these drinks served up, I don't know. I always get drinks with ice in them out because I kind of drink them too fast, you know?
Mhm.
And I also wonder, like, this, I feel like to really understand it and to see, like, this thing is like a really well composed, not even a dish, but a recipe, you know, because I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of thought with all these flavors. I feel like you really want to do this right at home to understand how this thing can shine. Because I don't know if I can trust just any bar to do it
No.
right.
I feel like
Because
I've gotten some half-baked ones of these when I was out. I feel like they're maybe just using 2 ingredients and maybe leaving the citrus and the simple. I don't know.
I'm never this lemon thing. Again, because I have it served up and I'm just like chug a lug, go day, you know, and you're just out and
Well,
about.
here's
Like
a big
this
point
is
about
very
this.
interesting.
There's a big point about this. So you guys may have touched on this accidentally. There's a lot of people that make a French 75 with gin, which is pointless, in my
Oh, okay.
opinion. I'm not a big gin
Wow,
guy
okay.
anyway. I'm not a big gin guy.
Mhm.
Juniper is going to be the dominant flavor in a gin-based French
Right.
75. Whereas all that beautiful wood, nut, and dark fruits and caramel and vanilla, that's the flavor that comes through
Yeah,
with
there's no
cognac.
barrel. Right.
And it's French.
Killer.
I mean, it's called French 75. It's not the British French 75. Cognac is French. Champagne is French. That's the cocktail to me. I could be totally wrong. I'm not
So
sure what
something you said.
Oh, I'm not sure if the
Well, I
inventor
was
at
just going to
Harry's
say
bar.
something you.
We got a little time delay here.
We have a huge time delay going on. All I was going to say was, I'm not sure the guy Harry of Harry's Bar, which I think was called either the American Bar or the New York City Bar in Paris. He created it. I'm assuming since he was based in Paris, he's used cognac for the very first French 75. But gin, it might have been gin. I'm not totally sure. For me, French 75s are cognac and champagne.
No,
You
gin.
go ahead, Ali. You're about to ask a question.
You know, you brought this up, lemon juice and Blanc de Blanc. Could you just give me like the quick 101 of like Brut, Blanc de Blanc, like what that means for champagne? Because what does strike me is you do want the right. I mean, champagne makes up a lot of this drink.
There's a lot of different flavors with champagne too.
It's 4 ounces.
Lay it on me.
Yeah, 4 ounces of that drink is champagne. So why not use a quality champagne? Blanc de Blanc is easy. Just means white of white. That means all the grapes that went in here are white grapes. Chardonnay is the white grape of champagne. So this is Chardonnay, 100% Chardonnay. So from the Chardonnay, you get more acidity and you get more lemon and you get more green apple. If we go to a Brut champagne that isn't called Blanc de Blanc, just called Brut, say it's a third of the 3 grapes. 2 of those grapes are red. You're going to get a wide range of flavors. Meunier and Pinot Noir bring a little more structure and fruit, whereas the acidity comes from the Chardonnay. You get dark, cherry fruits coming from Pinot Noir. So you're getting a range of flavors that are different than a Blanc de Blanc. I just like that lemony, appley flavor profile of Blanc de Blanc to go with the lemony component that's in here already that balances out that heavier woody flavor of a VSOP cognac.
Of the cognac.
Or even a VS. VS cognacs are very woody.
So I want to ask you this. I mean, it is eat this, drink that. Catchphrase, what would you... I know you're going to say, this is a cocktail. I have a cocktail first. Then I ease into the 19 other drinks I'm going to have for my potted meat extravaganza, pheasant heart, preserved in duck fat. But what am I eating with this beverage?
It's got to be an omelet.
So think about all that acidity. Think about that acidity.
I was so into that answer. I was like, he's a genius, and he was just throwing in a one-liner. Okay.
Sounds like a breakfast drink, right?
I'm thinking.
Cheeses. A beautiful cheese plate with even some triple cream cheeses, stinkier cheeses, a whole wide range of cheeses, but cream cheeses. So, the triple creme cheeses. Any sort of pasta dish with a creamier sauce. This is going to cut right through it. You don't have to just think, but this is definitely an aperitif cocktail. This is something when your guests first get over, you've prepped some of it because you can prep the mixture of the cognac, the lemon juice, and the simple syrup together before you put it over ice. Have that ready. Everybody shows up.
In the ice.
Yep. Then you shake. Then you pour them out in the flutes, and then you open up the champagne when everybody gets there. That's your welcome cocktail to the evening. You're not having this with dessert. You're not having this with the main course, but you could definitely have this with the stuff that's laid out for when everybody arrives. So cheeses. I immediately think of cheeses with this.
How would this work with anything that has heat or spice?
So we've talked about this before when we talk about hotter foods. I think champagne goes really well with a range of spicy dishes. Yeah. Thai, Vietnamese, Indian, champagne. It goes really well with the heat.
I would love to try this with jack cheese stuffed roasted poblano peppers, jalapeno poppers with cheese wrapped in bacon.
Whoa.
But a nibble stuff. So it's like you're because you don't take unlike wine, you can take a larger sip of wine. Some with bubbles, it's like, you're kissing the lips a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I mean, not crappy jalapeno poppers with like cream cheese. I mean, like good, maybe Oaxacan cheese. And
Jack in the Box.
You know what I mean? We're going to Jack with
E&J.
with Crosby's French 74. Yes. Cali 71, baby.
Cali 74. Yeah. Well,
hey,
guys, let's wrap this one up here.
Yeah, one last point about this.
That's him saying no.
I didn't go too crazy.
That was him saying no.
I would add more cognac to this recipe. I only went with 1 ounce. It's kind of the basic recipe, but I like boozier cocktails. I like a little more body to the cocktail. So I would actually go up to 1.5 ounces with this. Just also because I have a pretty large flute. You're also talking about the ratio between champagne and the cognac. We're 4-1 right now. So you can get that down to 3-2. I think it's a little bit better cocktail. Right now, this is champagne forward. So lemon forward because of the Blanc de Blanc. Okay. Whereas if you go up to 1.5 ounces, you're going to get a little more of that richer cognac flavor. And that's it. That's the French 75.
All right.
Well, you can only imagine what a Cali 74 would be with these kind of ratios. But
maybe I'll do that one in season 5.
It looks. Oh hell yeah, that would be. Oh my god, I'm excited. That's a dope. You know what? Once again, I'm very excited to go out, get these ingredients, and really try and experience this right. Because I think what Ryan was saying, it's like I think we have not. I think we've had some.
I think we've had some weird
ones out and about at the bar. Just saying.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Steve, for this one. Yeah, I had no idea what was going to be in it. I thought it was going to be 2 ingredients. So that's a rich looking drink you made there. So let's wrap it up for today's French 75. And we got more on the way. We're going to have more French cocktails. So thank you guys. Cheers.
This is all gin right here.
Café. Later, guys.
See ya.